Those clamps are holding that, if you didn't know.
All day, every day, I'm slinging wax for the #1 car care company on the planet. And at night, it's all about building cool stuff. This is Ironwood Garage.
Welcome to part 3 of the Ford mower build. And if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, go check them out. I pulled this Ford mower out of a junkyard. It was super clean, and with the envision of turning it into like a lowered badass mower that doesn't mow. I'm going to haul trash cans to the end of my road with it. But yeah, we pulled it out of the junkyard and got it stripped down to bare frame. Got a bunch of stuff manufactured on it to get it sitting low, and today we are going to tackle the transaxle. The transaxle in these things has a differential, so this wheel spins this way, the other one spins the opposite way. I'm going to pull that out, get the axles out, lock that differential so the wheels spin the same direction, making it like a drift mower and arguably the coolest Ford mower on the planet. So I got a lot of stuff ahead of me. Let's get right into it. And it's time to start tearing into the rear end. Now, I'm probably gonna have to take the tires and stuff off this once that I get going. But first, I've just got it clamped in my spots here. I know that I've got to weld my brackets, which basically are these. I'm just gonna cut them off. That way I can weld them to the frame. So those, the holes on the transaxle just meet right up with it. So they're going to cut off, weld right on there, both sides. But first we're going to lift this up out of here. I spent a good time cleaning this place up tonight a little bit. I still loaded down with mowers, but I had to get it cleaned up. So I cleaned the table off over there so we can lay the transaxle up there. If I can leave the wheels on, I will. I don't know that I'm going to be able to. If I can, I'll leave them on. If not, they got little C clamps on the inside of them, blockers on the outside of them to get them. So pop it out of there. We're going to start diagnosing it, trying to get it apart so we can see exactly what we need to take out of there to weld. I've watched some videos on this thing and how to weld the transaxle, and it's a little bit tricky. So I'm going to do my best to explain it. Got me. Got me pretty good there. Those clamps are holding that, if you didn't know. I got one pretty good, got the second one, third one got scraped but didn't get good. This one here is a pretty good one. It's going way up underneath there, but hey, part of it. I should have had gloves on, I guess. But anyway, this is going to be pretty easy to get over to the, get over to there, and then we're going to start seeing about getting the pulley off and the best way to go about it. Yeah, the pulley definitely has to come off, but it doesn't look like it's like super on there. I mean, like it doesn't look like it's going to be too crazy to get off there. So let's see if we can lift it and take it over. All right. Here we go. First, I've seen some videos, and this part right here can be freaking aggravating. So we're going to check it out. I'm going to wheel my little tray of tools. I like to do this when I work on stuff. Everything that I'm working on, a particular project, I'll keep on my cart. That way I don't have to keep on getting in and out of the toolbox. But like tonight, I did clean up and put a bunch of stuff away, but not the stuff I know I'm going to be rocking with again. I mean, I have seen these things be freaking rust welded on and all kinds. I'm hoping that's not the case for me. I'd really like to just be able to get it off here. Oh, yeah, it's coming. Oh, yeah. We will sure take that. Wasn't too bad at all. Get a little brush here. Okay, now, so what we're doing, the reason we're doing what we're doing here is with a lawnmower, as you can see, when I turn this one this way, this one spins that way. It only needs one wheel differential to spin at a time. I want to get in here, weld this, lock it, so when this spins, it's spinning like a go-kart would, giving a little more juice. And if you want to drift it or do something cool, it needs to be locked up. It's not necessary really for what I'm mainly going to be doing with it, but when I build these Murrays over here, I'm going to be trying to get those as fast as I can and drift, you know, be able to do cool shit on them, whatever. So I want to go ahead and do it on this Ford too, just because it's how I want to do it. So there's all kinds of bolts around here that we got to take off. Best way to do it is loosen them just a little bit and then go back and undo them all. If I can find the exact size they are with this, it's going to make it a lot easier. And boom, first one, 3/8. So I will actually put it down in this extension so I can reach them easier. And we'll just start popping them off here. Oh yeah, now we're lifting right off. So, boom, up, out, and man, it's nasty. We have got some serious, actually looks really greased up and good. It's, I mean, it's got some serious grease in there, which is a good thing. Yeah, it looks like somebody may have greased this thing up not too long ago. I'm going to show you. So this right here is what we're going to get to. This thing's been plenty greased up. As you can see, as these turn, those little spider gears turn, which moves that one backwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to get right in here and weld there and down here on the bottom. Doesn't look like much right now, but we will get this thing out of here. We'll get it cleaned up, and we should be able to sit it right back down on there after we get it welded up. So the key to me is I'm not really a big mechanic, know all these things about all this. I want to make sure that I know how this goes back together, and the best, I'm only going to remove the things I need to. So the first thing I want to do is lay out some towels here so I can lay these over on there. I want to get this thing good and cleaned up so I can lay down a really good weld. I've seen a few videos on the best way to weld these. First things first is we got to get it cleaned up. I'm impressed with the grease, so I'm not too worried about. I'm going to get some grease tomorrow and re-grease it, but man, it's greased up, and it'll be fine. I'll add some more grease to it once we get it all done. But yeah, so let's take it apart and get it over here so we can get it cleaned up. Most of the time, these are like really old and corroded and bad, so everybody cleans them all the way out just so they can get new grease. This has had new grease put in it sometime at some point before. It hasn't been that long. So the problem is you got to weld the first part, you got to put it back in there and weld the two little pieces inside there. So it's probably better to do it clean, but I'm not going to do it clean. I'm going to put it in there and weld it in place. I'm going to cover up that area with towels. That way no slag or anything gets in there. And I'm going to weld my pieces. Then you pop them back out and weld them the rest of the way. So we're going to see what we got. We're going to put it back together. Boom, we're going to weld right there and right there on the other side. back out here, and today we're going to get a lot accomplished. We're going to try anyway. So back on the transaxle, where we had left off, I've got it tacked up. I'm going to pull it apart again, lay it over here on my mess I got, and get that centerpiece welded up really, really good. That way it's nice and tight, and then hopefully put it back together. So yeah, let's just get started here. Boom. Those are out. This is the piece. I've got it tacked barely here, here. So I'm going to run good tight weld around both sides, all the way around it to get it locked in. Cooled off, welded up. I don't think there's really much need for any grinding or cleanup. So, moment of truth, because this can get a little tricky from what I gather. Let's see if we can get this bad boy back together. Whew. Okay, that was a little tricky. We do have it in there. I've got some grease. I'm going to put some grease in there. I just hope this thing still operates as it should. So let's just grab some grease and throw it in there. And rearrange some of the old grease. And we're back. We got the transaxle all ready, locked back up. Looks like it's turning good. So next part, before I put it back down in here, these were the brackets. And when this was original, they used to sit like this and bolt on here, and transaxle set on top of there. We've now notched it down. So I need to cut these off at those grooves right there, so I can just mount them on here and run the transaxle across. So let's go cut these on the cutter. actually found a bolt, fits right in there. I think I'm just gonna screw it from the side straight over in there. That'll hold it. And then I'll add some kind of little bracket down on the bottom. Maybe something like this on the very bottom of it to hold it. Just for some more support down there, up underneath it once I get it in. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. I'm gonna drill holes for my brackets so I can get them on. And we'll be close to having this thing. I'm gonna also take this, I'm gonna weld a piece of something back across here just for some support. So this isn't just real flimsy. But let's get to it. Extra support. Just to hold the back up. Sides are mounted. I'm going to put something across here, just strengthen these back up. This here is just flimsy. Not that it's really supporting anything, but I just don't want it to get out of whack. I'm going to put a bar across here, probably weld it in place. May screw it, we'll see. That's going to wrap up part 3. In the next video, I'm going to try to tackle everything underneath the mower and try to get it functioning and working properly. Like with the shifter and the brake pedal, I got to figure out what I'm going to make, kind of shifter handle I'm going to make. And then I got to take the body panels and get them modified to where they will fit, because now the wheels are higher, so they won't really fit on there. But tune in next time, and until then, check you on the flip.